Inconceivable. I'm William.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Wesley. And we're gonna catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
What's my destiny?
How can you not burst out into the song?
I usually...
Ooh, you're my best friend.
Well, I didn't start doing it until after doing cosplay when they would constantly do that at the masquerade. The music, like they would have that theme song all the time at the masquerade.
Oh yeah,
and Raycons.
Because it's
every
the
single
hype
time.
one.
It's yeah, but I've never watched or seen Pokemon, so I like the song, but I don't know.
The Pokemon theme song is the equivalent of "Don't Stop Believing."
Yeah, for geeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It really
Okay.
is.
Because "Don't Stop Believing" is that song when you want to get a crowd hyped up, where everyone knows the lyrics to the song, so everybody sings along and
Or
everyone's
Living on a Prayer.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Pokemon theme song is for the nerd community.
So I hope by now we've gotten your attention. I hope the Pokemon geeks are coming out of the woodworks to listen.
Out of the grass.
Out of the grass, yeah. Oh, we're having a wild encounter. We're going to talk about Pokemon for a little while.
Yeah.
Because back at E3 of last year, E3 2017, Nintendo announced that the next core Pokemon game, so not like a spin-off like Tekken Tournament or something like that.
Yeah.
So the next core Pokemon game is coming out on the Nintendo Switch. So,
Wow.
you know, yeah, so the new...
Hype?
Hype is way up here, and I myself haven't played a Pokemon game since the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire. So, I'm trying to remember what those were called.
Did you not play Pokemon Go?
I mean,
Or is that-
a little bit, but that doesn't really count. That's still a spin-off. But anyway, I haven't played Pokemon really in a long time, but it's a really important part of my childhood and a really important part of my geekdom in general. Because I was...
For a lot of people, it is. That was
Yeah.
their gateway game, as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to preface something. People are going to freaking yell at me, but I have an explanation, and I think people will be more okay with it. I've never played Pokemon.
Same.
Ever. Okay.
People already know this stuff.
No, but that's, I might have said it, but here's the reason. It's not that I don't like Pokemon. I don't have anything against Pokemon. In fact, I actually love Pokemon. The only reason why I have played it is I ain't got time for that. Because if I
How can you not have time for a portable game?
Because those are the most addicting. You know that's the ones because it's too accessible.
I still play Pokemon from time to time, but that's only because I still have a Game Boy Advance SP,
Yeah.
and I still play my favorite, which is Emerald, just like all the time.
It's freaking
On and off.
Pokemon. If I start playing it, I would never stop playing it.
Yeah.
I joked about it, but I literally don't have time to do that. Pokemon will ruin my life if I start.
You heard
playing
it here, folks. Pokemon ruins lives.
I will say I have.
That's what happened to everyone?
I know the theme song. I know a lot of the games. I know a lot of the Pokemon. I've played Smash Brothers, so I actually know a lot from that context as well. And I've also watched a lot of Let's Players like Game Grumps and others play Pokemon.
They did Fire Red. That was great.
Even though I haven't played it, I'm about as familiar about Pokemon as I can be. I haven't seen the shows though. That's the one area I'm missing. I haven't watched the shows. So
I've only seen bits and pieces of the TV show.
When Pokemon Go was coming out, I was with my friend. We were hanging out, and she was explaining it to me. She's like, "Yeah, Pokemon, this and this and this," and like she mentioned Ash, and I just said to her, like, I didn't even know. I was like, "Who's Ash?" And then she went dead silent. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are screaming right now into the phone or whatever.
What put out?
Ash from Evil Dead. What do you mean put out?
I'm pretty sure that I made a lot of beats.
Come on.
Come on. That was good. That was good.
Drink away my sorrows.
Okay. Anyway, a new Pokemon game is on the horizon, and this is a pretty big shift because this will be the first time that a core Pokemon game has come out on console. And the last two Pokemon games, Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun, I think. I'm pretty sure. Those are like the swan song of Pokemon games on 3DS. Those are
totally.
those will be the last ones.
Did you know that going into that, or is it just that's how it is now?
What do you mean? Did I know?
As in, like when they made those games, was it pitched as these are the last games?
I don't know. But like they were very like sequel-esque, and Pokemon normally does that. They'll do like, well, actually no, that's a little different for them. So Pokemon games usually come out as like they have the two.
Right.
And then they'll have, like, the next year, they'll come out with one that's kind of like the two put together a little bit, like, and it's a little bit better. Well, twice now, they've come out with just like sequels. So like Pokemon Black and White, they came out with Pokemon Black and White 2. And then I think X and Y X and Y, and then did X and Y get a shoot? Now reality is melding for me, and I don't know if there was actually a Pokemon Z or if I'm just crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Crazy. The letter Z.
Why?
You talked about Pokemon Z.
What? Oh, okay.
Pokemon
You're making me
games.
explain the joke. That's a
Pokemon
no-no.
games. I need to know all the
Excuse
Pokemon
me for
games.
not getting your bad joke.
No. But and then they did the sequel thing again with Sun and Moon. They did Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So like the leading theory right now is that if they don't do a totally new generation, they think that they'll do like maybe like a like another. So like you have, for instance, you have like you had like Red and Blue, and then Yellow, which was like Red and Blue, only it had like a new aspect to it. You had like Pikachu following you around, so it's like the same game with like new stuff in it.
Okay.
So like, if they don't do a new generation, that's one thing that people think that they might do is something like that. I personally hope it's a new generation. I love seeing new Pokemon. Even when I haven't been playing Pokemon games, like I'm always on Cerebi.net. If some of you guys out there are gonna know what that is.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
No idea.
But it's just like if you want Pokemon news, if you want reliable Pokemon news, you go to this website. So like I still check that website all the time.
Isn't it funny thinking about like all the people who grew up with Pokemon and then being adults and then having kids and then them being like, all right, these kids have to like these things. Like in geek culture in general, when I have kids, I'll be like, all right, you guys, I don't care what your tastes are, but you're gonna have to like these things, okay? You're gonna have to like Star Wars, you're gonna have to like Marvel, all that stuff, okay? Otherwise, you're not my real child.
It's a different type of abusive parenting.
I know, but at least I'm giving them some good, fun stuff.
Yeah.
But Pokemon. Let's talk about Pokemon.
Yeah, so the Pokemon X and Y were on their own. They didn't get like a sequelitis at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But those are incidentally the swan songs, so they weren't made that way on purpose.
Sun and Moon, Ultra
the
Sun,
Swan
Ultra
Song?
Moon. Swan Song, it's like your last act.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, those Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon will be the last Pokemon games on 3DS. Nintendo has said they will continue to support the 3DS. Like first party and third party games are gonna keep coming out for it, but at least for Pokemon, they're moving on. Which totally makes sense because the Switch is a portable console. Like it's a home console that you can take with you, like literally. And we've talked about the Switch before.
Yeah.
So like, I think that has made Pokemon comfortable enough to jump onto the console, and it's exciting because it's like a whole new world of possibilities for the genre, like for the game. And I don't know, like people have been talking about a Pokemon game where you're able, like an open world Pokemon game where you're able to go to all the regions, like and just kind of be kind of like Ash is in the show, like, and so this is a great opportunity for that. I don't know if they'll aim that big right away,
Right.
but it's cool. I mean, I know you guys aren't really that into Pokemon, but what are some of your thoughts? What would cause you to be interested in this?
Pokemon?
Yeah, in the new one coming out at least.
If it was free and if I had time, I'm sorry. It's like time is one of the biggest.
Yeah,
things.
honestly, we own a PlayStation 4 downstairs.
You know
None
how
of
much
us
it
play
sucks being an adult. Good grief.
I will say, since they're dealing with the actual home console, they have more hardware and room and memory to work with.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any technical things that they can improve on with these new features?
It's hard to say because since Pokemon originated on the handheld, the game its personality is all about what they were able to do. So it's like you don't feel like anything's lacking. You know what I mean? Because it was all built around that. But as Pokemon's gotten older, it's moved away from like the 60, like the flat, like bit characterized, kind of like Mario and stuff like that. They've moved away from that to like fully 3D character sprites and stuff like that. So like they'll just be able to do that better. And I think they'll take that route. I think you'll see what Pokemon used to be kind of like Pokemon Classic, and like Pokemon's changing.
Would you get like for
It's
someone,
evolving.
Whoa.
Wow. So, for somebody who has never played Pokemon at all, would you say that if I wanted to start playing it, should I start with something that's just coming out, or should I start at the very beginning?
If you want to
or-
start playing Pokemon, you can literally play any Pokemon game you want. It doesn't matter. But my recommendation, if you want to start playing Pokemon, would honestly be the original Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Just because those are my favorites. It's like those are the most refined Game Boy ones, and I suggest you start in the Game Boy era, just because they're like pure fun at that stage.
Was Red a thing, or is it just Ruby?
What do you mean?
Is there such a thing as Pokemon Red?
Yeah, those are the originals. Pokemon Red and Blue.
Okay.
Those are the original ones.
So I have Red. I don't know if I still have it with me. I came so close to playing Pokemon one time, back when I had free
Do you
time.
have the cartridge, Pokemon
I
Red?
thought I did.
If you do-
I bought it, but it was at my last house.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, because I had the cool Game Boy Advance attachment to the GameCube. So I could play it on my TV.
Yeah.
See, that's the closest experience that you could have to playing Pokemon
Yeah,
TV.
is
is
they
the
did, yeah.
GBA expansion pack on
For the
your
GameCube, yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's no extra technical things there. It's just blow it up on your TV and you can play with the controller. Book to do.
Yeah.
Makes it nice for game capture. You know,
Yeah.
we're doing Let's Plays and stuff like that. But yeah, I own it, and I got as close to playing as possible, then didn't end up doing it because I got busy again. It was just
If you find it, let me know, because I will definitely play it on my,
yeah.
my Game Boy that I have in my room.
yeah.
But yeah, so I would suggest starting with Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, just because you want to start in the Game Boy era, because it was just nothing but fun. Like, it's not overly complicated or anything.
No.
Is it
And it's
right
just-
now? Do you think? Is it overly complicated and not as fun right now?
Yeah, but like that just goes into more of my video game theory that we've talked about lately. It's just like
Game theory.
Yeah, our game theory. Just so much of like what video games have become. It's just like there's so much going on in them, and Pokemon suffered a little bit from that. That there's just so much going on.
Do you think there'll ever be a officially full launched Pokemon game like how we're used to seeing Pokemon in the mobile devices?
Like a core game for the mobile device.
Yeah. I think we'll ever see, because we saw Pokemon Go, but that's a different gimmick kind of thing. You think we'll actually see a normal Pokemon game officially, not like ported into the thing? Do you think we'll see like an actual?
I don't think you'll see a core game, but I think you could see something like they create a new game. I don't know. That's a good question, because it does have a lot of potential. The kind of core game they could release for the phone. Phones are powerful enough where it could be like the Game Boy games.
Absolutely.
I'm just wondering how that would work if they would put that much effort into creating a new generation or something like
Right.
that.
Do they have the original Pokemon games on like the App Store? You can't.
Yep. I'm not sure on the App Store. They have them on the Nintendo Shop, like Nintendo Store.
Gotcha.
So like, I don't know.
I know there's ways to do it, whether it's technically.
Like on the 3DS, you can download all the original Pokemon games and play them on the 3DS.
Oh well,
Virtually.
no. Okay, yeah, but I'm talking about on your phone. Like I know there's.
I don't think so. That would be crazy.
That's like start with that, and then do what like Final Fantasy did, where they started with the original ones and they got more and more caught up.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be a thing.
I'm sure we'll see the same thing. Fire Emblem's going to get really close to that because they did Heroes, which is there's very little lacking from Heroes to the original versions, and the only reason
What's Heroes?
From Fire Emblem.
I know, but what is that?
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Is that a mobile game?
Yeah.
What?
Fully made Fire Emblem. You never heard of this?
No.
Last year, this time last year, it was in its prime. And
Is that what your brother was posted? I gotta play that.
Fire Emblem Heroes. Just fun. Anyone who's played the game knows that the loading screen will be silent for like 3 seconds, and you're like, "Oh, where's the volume?" And you turn it up, and then the freaking voice is the loudest thing. It'll be like Fire Emblem Heroes. You're like, as soon as it goes like Fire Emblem, you're like, do the toss up with your phone. But I remember one time I was in the bathroom, like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my daily reward," so I pull up my phone, I pull up the game, and I thought my phone the volume was low, but then just in the stall, just like Fire Emblem Heroes, I'm like frantically trying to find the button. I'm like, ah! So yeah, that's just a funny thing that if you ever play the game. But that
I thought those were cosplay plans, honestly. The
Really?
pictures that your brother posted, yeah. I was like, oh, that's a cool character.
So yeah, no, Fire Emblem Heroes is cool because it takes characters from like most of the games into one game, and there's some of the details of strategy is taken out, so it's a simplified version, but it's still the same gameplay. If that makes sense.
You know, that does make sense. That's cool.
So like for instance, on like your DS or whatever, you can scroll to see more of the map because the maps are usually bigger. These are much smaller scale. All the maps fit on, for the most part, on one screen.
Cool.
So it's dumbed down, but it's still the same game, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
simplified.
It's
It's
just
not.
simpler.
It's not like Pokemon Go where it's a different game almost entirely.
Yeah.
This one's different. So Fire Emblem's really close to that. I would expect to see Pokemon follow a similar trend.
Oh, yeah, it
because Fire Emblem's a lot
definitely could.
less touchy with its fans. You know, Pokemon's like you don't mess
It's a
with
sacred thing.
Yeah, you don't mess with Pokemon, man.
No, yeah, literally. Pokemon is like, from a critical standpoint, Pokemon's the same game every time, but it's just you don't mess with it. It works. Like it's fun.
You know what's
like,
funny is that
it doesn't get flack
Pokemon
for
is
that.
like the exception in that rule.
Yeah.
Call of Duty literally gets copped for that all the freaking time. Pokemon, literally.
Well, you know
no.
why? Because the gameplay is so fun on its own. It doesn't need that much. It doesn't need that
Right,
much
'cause
added to it.
Pokemon
you
in itself is almost its own genre.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep adding new Pokemon, and people are happy.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
a Pokemon, right?
which one? Yeah, that's
That one.
Trico.
Okay.
Trico. On our set, we have a plush Trico, and
Trico.
Trico is the first form of my favorite starter
Aw.
ever, Sceptile. Yeah, from Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Yeah.
It looks like an evil version of Yoshi.
He's not, he's a gecko. He's a gecko.
If that thing starts
Kind
selling
of.
me insurance, I swear.
I did once name it Geico when I was like 12.
That's always a fun thing to do in Pokemon.
Oh, I love naming them. Yeah.
naming.
Yeah, they're your friends. Anyway, yeah. Growing up, I wasn't even really allowed to play Pokemon, but that changed. It's all about like letting your parents know things aren't evil.
Right.
It was the same with Halo. Like,
So we have to expect something. Knowing Nintendo, they love adding gimmicks.
Yep.
Some hit, some are miss. But
Yes.
what gimmicks do you think they'll try to do with the Switch?
they've talked about adding some kind of multiplayer feature to it.
Yo.
And they don't know. They
Yes.
haven't decided if it'll be online or if it'll be like you each use a Joy-Con.
either
Like
way,
besides a,
either way.
but they're thinking about what kind of multiplayer thing can we do for this?
Because we kind of have had that where you would have the cord with the Game Boys and you put them in and you can
Don't you have your Pokemon fight each other? I don't know how the game works. So
They're going to need at least some kind of multiplayer because a core part of what Pokemon is you trade with people and you battle people. What I'm hoping they do, if they do anything locally, it'd be fun for them to, like, you pick from a pool of Pokemon, make a team of 6, you set what level cap you want it to be at, and then you can either pick moves or have have a couple presets randomly generated for Pokemon. You can battle online locally with someone, like a pickup game of like let's just
awesome.
battle. That'd be so cool.
It's simple but super underrated. That'd be so much fun. Seriously, especially, and I feel like that's very realistic because Nintendo loves doing believe it or not, there's a console company out there that actually is encouraging local multiplayer, and they're doing that with their Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
So, hey, here's a controller for you, here's a controller for me. Let's play together on this one screen.
That's one reason I want to get a Switch so badly is because there are so many good pick up and play games that, like series of games like Mario Kart, Mario Party, things like that, where it's still the same multiplayer experience, and you can just So I want to get a Switch because there's so many, I don't know, has so much potential for fun with friends and
Absolutely.
yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that with Pokemon. Depending on whether I have a Switch, it could be the next Pokemon game that I play. I think it's really cool. I think it's
So, what other? Because I'm trying to think of as far as hardware goes, what else does the Switch offer that's unique in their gimmicks and stuff like that?
I'm not.
Most people don't know these Joy-Cons are very similar to the Wii controllers. They don't have the sensors, but they have all the just like phones do. They have the gyroscopes stuffs in there. Yeah. So it knows like where it is, and there's a game on the Switch where it senses where your controller is sitting. and basically you point it at your screen, and you say, "I'm pointing at the center of the screen." You press the button, and then it syncs it. And then, unlike the Wii, where it needs a sensor to see where your controller is, it just says, "Okay, I know that this is the center point," and then it does all the calculations from there. So without any sensors, Bluetooth or anything, it's just reading the information of where you're tilting from that, relative to where you set the center of the screen was.
I see.
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
It's really genius because that's using technology that's not new or anything. It's just using it smarter, you know. So that'd be fun. Do you think maybe we'll see some motion controls or anything like that?
I mean, maybe, but I don't know how that would work. I mean, in terms of like extra things, like maybe you shake the controller to get to attract more, like while you're in tall grass or something. I don't know. That's a good point. That's something to look out for. Alex, you've been awfully quiet.
Because I don't know anything about Pokemon or video games. I'm sorry.
List off all the Pokemon you know of.
Pikachu. Charizard. Squirtle? Is that a one?
Squirtle. Yeah.
That Pokemon.
Geico. I don't know anything
Have
about
you seen
Pokemon.
that? Oh no, we're gonna get into this. There's a Vine that it's like shows up. Who's that Pokemon?
Yeah.
Pikachu, Clefairy. No, it's like. I mean, he doesn't say that, but it works.
Yeah, we're afraid to take it for a reason.
Okay, so
making things family friendly here on the show.
Can you explain to me what Pokemon is? Like, what's the story or the game?
Okay,
Pokemon
wait, ready?
I'm sorry, this is
60
good.
seconds, go.
Pokemon is a class. It's one of the more classic JRPGs. Like,
What does that mean?
It's an RPG. You collect monsters. They have moves. They have like I'm not. We're gonna go.
Okay,
on
come
this.
on.
I'm not gonna do this. No. So
sorry.
they have attack, special attack, defense, special defense. Those four attributes basically, and they rise and fall, and they have different bases depending on the Pokemon. So like Charizard will has
like fire attacks kind of stuff.
Yeah, and he has a higher special attack stat than say Metagross, which is a physical attacker. So he has a higher physical attack stat than Charizard does. So
I know another one. Metapod.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah. So there's a lot of strategy in Pokemon games. Like there are some really hardcore Pokemon players that like there's all kinds of things like
because certain Pokemon will be more effective against certain other Pokemon.
Yeah, and that's just the type thing. Like it goes way deeper than that. Like it's crazy. Like the metagame for Pokemon is insane.
Got it.
Like it's just the story of Pokemon is that they live in this world where all of the animals have special powers and like you get one when you're 10.
I mean it's cute, but I don't think really anyone thinks the story. I mean, people love the story.
Yeah.
It's just it pales in comparison to the actual gameplay, but it's there, and people do like the story.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, there's a whole show on it. So
I'm more of I just put myself in the game and I collect my favorite Pokemon and I rule the world.
Name your Pokemon, Jeff. My name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff. Go, Jeff. Jeff. All right. Oh my word, Alex. Alex
What
is
are you
not
talking
known.
about?
Alex has not known what to do with this conversation for the last 20 minutes.
How about you take the wheel now?
I'll take the wheel and I'll flip Gary.
Jeff.
Oh, good grief. So, let's see, one sec.
I believe.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Alex and I were rocking out to NSYNC earlier.
Yeah,
we're dance partners.
Bye. So,
we're your freestyle dance teachers.
While sitting down. So, March 20th. Okay. Yep. It's okay. Calm down. Take a chill pill. Have a Snickers bar. Anything. Just, okay. So, March 23rd, there is a sequel movie coming out called Pacific Rim Uprising. Now,
Reborn.
the second one, number 2, Resurgence.
Yeah, all the titles.
Pacific Rim, but it's Hitler. Look, it opens up and it's
Why you keep bringing this up? Shut up about Hitler.
He's a cyborg now.
He's a kaiju.
You've got to name one of these Hitler at some point. Like
I never will. I'll just mention it in every podcast.
All I can think of is Hitler riding on top of a kaiju saying, "I'm back, y'all."
Hitler uprising. Anyways,
Kaiser Strikes Back.
Pacific Rim Resurgence Uprising, the sequel #2. Record.
Oh man. So, I have worries about this movie because I really, really like the first one. It is a pretty simple plot line. I know you haven't seen it, Wesley.
I haven't seen it. I know nothing about Pacific Rim.
You've seen it, right? You saw it, right, Will?
The what one again?
The first one, Pacific Rim.
Yes and no.
Wait, what?
So I kind of watched it, I kind of didn't. So here's the thing. I have this weird thing with movies that they're kind of end of the world movies, but not really. But basically, big creature object destruction movies. So
I have a thing against those too.
So,
I'm not
like,
interested really.
I'm not always a big fan.
there's nothing wrong against them, but like movies like Godzilla, some types of alien movies, not Independence Day. I love Independence Day. But
That's just big ships.
I think that's true.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Spaceships.
And then you got Pacific Rim, like with the big mechs. Transformers. I also don't.
Oh,
like.
Transformers.
I have a weak spot for Transformers.
Transformers is dumb.
The original Transformers game on the DS.
Okay.
Like Autobots and stuff.
Are you talking
those
about
were awesome.
Are you talking about the movies, or are you talking about just like
The first movie was really good. I don't care for any of the other movies. The concept of Transformers, I love.
And I know
Okay.
you're gonna not like me for this, but I also don't like Planet of the Apes.
Why?
I love Planet
Why
of the
don't?
Apes. Okay, so don't get me wrong.
I don't.
Which ones,
There
though?
is all
Which
of them.
one?
I don't like the series. It's not
The new
I don't
ones?
have
Have you seen the
anything
new ones?
against it.
Have you seen the new ones?
I haven't tried. No,
Good.
I'm sorry.
You should. They're great.
Okay,
They're-
maybe.
Like, I've never really watched any of the originals. Like, I'm sure my dad showed them to me when I was younger.
I watched the Mark Wahlberg one.
Yeah. But like, I love the mythology of it. It's so cool. And
So,
like,
I said, no,
well, we should probably let Alex talk about.
It's just to cap that. I'm not saying they're bad movies. I'm just saying that for some reason I'm not as excited about them as I should be.
That's fair.
So yeah,
There you
go
go.
on.
Going back to Pacific
Yes.
Rim.
Yes, I know of it. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So basically, the plot line is a breach has opened up in the Pacific Ocean, where it's basically like a portal, and these giant monsters come from a different, planet. I don't know.
Or did they play the whole trope where they were here before us?
I don't know. I didn't look that deep. But yeah, they come out of the ocean, and then. Shut up. So they come out of the ocean, and then basically humankind has to all band together to make these giant armored, mech suits to fight these things. It's pretty simple. It's like basic.
It's basically turn your brain off
No,
cinema.
but the thing is that this Pacific Rim, the original movie, was really, really cool. It's like an anime, basically. Like it's not westernized. I want to say.
I don't mean like turn your brain off in a bad way. I mean just kind of like boom. It's like just
No.
cool. Like
It is a show.
You can turn your
Yeah.
brain off, but it doesn't. It doesn't make you feel stupid watching the movie. Maybe a little bit, but not as bad as Transformers. Maybe a little bit. But no, but this movie is just really, really cool. Like, you can feel the size, you can feel like the scale. Like the mech suits, they're called Jaegers, and they are absolutely
Jaeger!
da 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 Jaeger.
Maybe that's another reason why I don't like.
Can we have a crossover
they're-
between the Jaegers and the Titans, please?
That'd be so great. Well, you know how they always take the scene where they see the big Titan over the wall to replace that with one of the mech robots?
Please, yes. The scale of the original movie is just really good. It's directed by Guillermo del Toro. I think that's how you
Guillermo del Toro, yeah.
Yeah, I do like him.
He's really good director. Like he wants it to be different. He wants it to feel
It's got John
gritty.
Boyega in it.
Was he? Did
No,
he
that's
also
the second one though.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Did
the
he
one that
already?
I'm worried
Did he
about.
already do the first one? The same.
Del Toro did the first one. The second one is being directed by Stephen S. DeKnight. I don't know.
That's always bad when they switch directors.
No.
Yeah.
Because I actually like that.
'Cause
person.
it means
Rim
like
was Del Toro's basically he wanted to do something that it was his passion project basically. He wanted to make it an adventure movie, and I think you can see how much he appreciated making this movie. All the tiny details. He wanted to make it look beautiful. Wanted it to be fun. Wanted to have really fun characters. Everything is visually stunning, and it's funny too. And it's. I don't know how to explain it, but this movie makes me happy, and it's flat out an epic movie to watch. Now, the new movie's coming out next month, and it looks kind of like trash.
Oh!
I'm calling it out. Okay, John Boyega's going to be in it, so that's going to be fun.
That'll generate
yeah,
buzz.
Yeah, It'll like I will appreciate that. But watching the trailers, it doesn't look good. It looks like a westernized version of the story. It has the Jaegers, but they all look really, really sleek, and it looks like they look like Transformers, basically.
No.
Yeah, they really
I mean,
do.
like they've refined it in a bad way.
They refined it in a really bad way. The other one, it was gritty. It looked like they'd basically taken these Jaegers and like built them, like taking other things from different.
Which is supposed to be that nice contrast between the enemy, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's like they take the resources that they have and then they build it. This one, it looks like they're specifically like made to look all nice and smooth and clean.
Like they've mass produced.
Yeah, it feels like mass production, and they also all have to look, very different from each other and have like very different weapons and stuff, which is cool. But
So I'm a fan of that, actually.
yeah, but it just feels like they're trying too hard. With the other one, they had. Okay, they were all big mech suits, but they all had specific characteristics or abilities. Like there was a Chinese one where it was being controlled by 3 triplets, and it had like a third arm. They were all able to fight together.
Cool.
So something that the concept is. One Jaeger is piloted by 2 people, and what they do is they have something that's called the drift. So they basically have like a connection between their brains, so they can see each other's memories. They can if they are drift compatible, then they're able to pilot the Jaeger basically. Because doing it by yourself does extreme strain on the person who's piloting it. So that's another reason why it was really cool to have 3 triplets doing it, because they all know each other very, very well. And then the concept is so cool, guys. I mean, come on. I'm not a big fan of mech suits or giant robots, but this, the first movie...
unique.
Yeah, what?
It was unique.
It was very, very unique. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
And I know I keep saying it's really cool, but that's what I'm saying instead of I'm really excited, because I'm not excited for the new movie.
Aww, that's sad.
Okay, so something that I noticed, right? I haven't seen Uprising because it hasn't come out yet, but watching the trailers, it looks like it's all really fast-moving camera and a lot of slow motion at the same time. So it's oh right, oh hey, you see this mech? Oh wait, no, you see this Jaeger and this one and this one. It pans around to all of them.
So the motion is slow, but the cuts are quick.
The cuts are quick, but then they have slow. Okay, so it's different. So slow motion happens and also quick shots.
It's almost lagging if you do it wrong.
Yeah, well, basically they're jumping from one to the next to the next just to show all the Jaegers that they have. But they also have a lot of slow motion shots. But in the original one, it was not that they were moving slowly. It's just because that they were so big, it looked like they were moving slowly. So if you consider us as humans, and then say an ant or a fly, they're moving around really fast, and then they see us, and we're not moving technically slow, but we have so much more mass that it looks like we're moving slower. So that's something that I was really not impressed by watching the trailer.
Picture it.
Oh, okay.
Simulating.
You need to watch the movie, please. Watch Pacific
You
Rim.
own it, right?
I do own it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it sometime.
Yeah, and I realize that I'm in the minority here by saying that doesn't appeal to me. I realize that kind of thing that should be appealing to almost everybody.
It doesn't really appeal to me either, but it does. This one specifically really does.
That should be great praise for you.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I appreciate it. And this is another thing. It's I don't really appreciate that everything is they're taking really good stuff and then not making it better, or just trying to make more of it.
Yeah.
Rehashings, basically. I don't like that. And I'm not trying to bash the director for this, but I think this is actually his directorial debut. So if he's doing a sequel to a really, really big movie, that's a lot of weight to carry on your shoulders.
Yeah, that is. What other instances have we seen a new director take on big tasks like this?
I'm not entirely sure.
I know there's more examples. I just for some reason can't think of a single one right now.
I can't either.
Of new directors taking on big projects.
Oh, it happens all the time when something's popular and they want to drag it out for money. I mean, I can't think of
See,
any on the spot right now, but I mean, you guys know what we're talking about. Like, something like a director comes up with a popular original idea that they really love, and they do a movie, and then it's popular, so the studio takes it farther, and the director, goes off and does, because they keep moving with their ideas, and the studio grabs hold of it to it as a money
Right, they're not
opportunity.
interested if like, hey, look, I was interested in making an original story. I didn't want to make an original saga,
Yeah.
So, but then Hollywood's like, ooh, but
Let's
I want to
milk
make some
this.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's
and
like
that doesn't always end up. They don't always end up being hollow films just for money,
But,
Right.
it's
they're
very
different.
good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
having the directors be the same is important.
Did they have the same director for the new Independence Day movie?
I
think
doubt
so.
it. Just
Yeah, I
because it
don't
was a
think so.
huge time difference. That
Yeah.
when you have huge time differences like that, that never happens.
See, there's a bigger gap between those movies, but it kind of feels like the same thing. It's like, like the original movie is like, oh, it's down and dirty, it's gritty, and like it's banded together for the last chance to fight.
It's hard
and
to
then-
follow up Independence Day with another movie.
But the next one looks way too sleek, though. It's right.
Yeah, no, you
too much
are
futuristic.
right.
Yeah, that's what.
And it's
that's-
because it's a whole premise where like, oh, we've done this before, so we're better at it. Like, well, yeah, that's true, but that also was
it takes
kind
away
of,
from the
that was kind of the
appreciation.
appeal that we're the
Ragtag.
we're the ragtag underdogs here. We're the rebels that are ill-equipped to deal with this stuff, but we're gonna band together and do the best that we can. There's a very human aspect to that we're far from perfect here, but dang it, we're gonna pull together the best of us and make the best thing we can. We don't want to see more polished like, oh yeah, we're the big leagues now. We don't want to feel like we're in the.
We've taken their technology and made it better, made it our own. Like, I don't want to watch a movie like that, and that was something that is great about Pacific Rim, was that it was basically the drag, like the bottom of the barrel last, okay, so a character Idris Elba plays, what's his name? It's Stacker Pentecost. He basically is the leader of the Resistance.
Stacker Pentecost.
Yeah, I know, weird name.
That's like
They call him Marshall, okay, so it's fine. But he is basically the leader of what is left of the Jaeger program, which is the last line of defense against the kaiju, which are coming through the portal.
kaiju.
The kaiju, yeah.
It's all got like.
It's really cool names, trust me.
We did something right there.
Yeah. And he literally tells the main character, like, we are no longer an army, we're the resistance. Like, this is, in the original movie, that's their last shot. Like, they're on their, like, that's their last chance to fight against the kaiju. Otherwise, they are done. There's nothing else that they can do. But in this one, it doesn't feel like the stakes are very, very high, because they have so many mech suits, and they're like, oh yeah, let's take all these people and make them into pilots, and it's absolutely, like, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't look like it means anything. They literally have so in the storyline, it says they have a 15-year-old hacker, Amara, who is gonna be a new generation of Jaeger pilots. And it looks like she just pieced together a Jaeger. How do you do that when you're a 15-year-old? These things are huge, and it feels like I'm just bummed out, basically, by what they're doing.
Yeah, no, actually, I really sympathize with what you're saying. You know, that really takes away from it.
We need to, pander to make kids enjoy it more by having a kid who pilots this giant, high-tech machine to fight against these, bigger than life monsters.
I'm sorry. I'm looking up stuff about it. There's the poster, right there, rise up, and all of the different mechs look
at all
different.
those.
Yeah.
They don't no.
Yeah.
Have you looked at the
Does look
original
kinda like
poster?
Transformer.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about how they did the first movie.
Ooh, John Boyega's Jake Pentecost.
Yeah, he's the
I
son.
didn't know he was the son.
He's supposed to be like the playboy guy who's kind of like a rebel, and everyone's like, "Oh, your dad was a hero," and he's like, "Yeah, but I'm not. Don't expect me to do anything."
Wow.
And then he rises up to be the hero that he has to be, the leader.
I like that Scott
gosh.
Eastwood's in it. He's cool.
I didn't realize that was Scott Eastwood. I'm like, oh, I guess that makes sense. But the first one, it had a pretty great cast. It had Charlie Hunnam, Idris Elba, which is fantastic.
Charlie Hunnam was in it?
Oh yeah.
Oh!
He plays an American, so his accent is kind of funky, but still. Idris Elba, I love Idris Elba. Charlie Day, and Ron Perlman's in it too.
Hey, we were just talking about him last time.
I know, yeah, isn't it great? Ron Perlman. He, just the...
Wait, we were talking about Ron Perlman last time?
Yeah.
Were we?
Were
Yeah,
we?
no, we definitely were. We're talking about his directing for.
He's not directing. Ron Howard. We're talking about Ron Howard.
Sorry.
Ron Perlman is Hellboy.
Yeah, no, that's my bad.
Ron Perlman's like
That's different. That's much
classic
different.
Hellboy, voice of
Yeah,
Deathstroke.
my bad. That's
Who's the
two
voice of
totally different people.
Yeah, the original Teen Titans TV show.
I
Ron
know.
Perlman was the voice of Deathstroke.
I didn't know that. But
Ooh,
now
yeah.
I watch it. I don't like what they're doing to the movie that I really, really love.
I want to see premise. 10 years after the Battle of the Breach, the oceans have become restless once again, but the Jaeger program has evolved into the next generation for the PPDC.
The what?
PPDC.
What's
Literally
that?
what it says. I don't know.
PPDC.
I don't know.
The
I wouldn't call
Pacific
my thing that.
Planetary People
Protectorate.
Defense
The People Protectorate.
Community. That's what
Police Protectorate.
police community.
There's a rogue Jaeger.
I know. They literally say, like, how did the breach open up again? It looks like there's somebody let them in. I'm like, somebody opened the door for them. Oh, no!
No crap, Sherlock.
The premise
Wow.
is so
Well,
dumb to think about.
by my analysis, it looks like someone let them in. No way!
The first one knew exactly what it was. It was a simple, mech
you're right.
versus monster.
It does look more like
It looks
rugged.
cool. It looks rugged.
So that's from the beginning. That's from the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, okay, so
More rugged looking,
in the
yeah.
first one, most of the stuff that happens is at night or like in like a very like shadowy area. In the other one, it's bright day, everything is shiny and clean, and they're like, oh, let's go through buildings, ding, 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 ding. In the original one, they are like getting down and dirty in the sea. They are fighting like right off the beach and like water spraying everywhere. There's like one of the Jaegers has a giant sword that it brings out. They literally take. I don't remember if it's a boat or no. They take a boat. They pull it up into their hands and then they use it as a baseball bat against one of the Jaegers.
Is that the first one?
It is amazing. It is like it's
Whoa.
stupid and fun. And then they take these huge box crates, put them in their hands, and then they use it as knuckle dusters against the kaiju.
Wow.
It's like that's stupid, but that's really, really fun. And the new one is like, oh, let's have fancy weapons, or let's have a magnet that takes rubble and then like hits the Jaeger like a mason chain.
So now you feel like it's going to be less ingenuity and more just convenience.
I feel like they're just pandering to toy makers or something at this point.
Well, that's what Transformers has.
Yeah, Transformers was
Toy
Transformers before.
No, I know,
right?
but Transformers did a similar thing way back when.
Yeah,
So like, let's have more characters so we can have more merchandise.
Who piloted this one?
that one. I want to say that's Russia, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got the red star on it.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like a trash can.
See, the other ones were unique, but they were simple, so you could see
Yeah.
that they were the different ones. The other ones are, I think, way too complicated, and they all need to have very special things. Like this one, the Russian one, I think it would like open up the head or something, and then missiles would come out.
It looks very original to Iron Man's original suit.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, just the scale of the original movie, like, you felt like you were looking up these huge, like, monsters
Yeah.
just walking around through the city, destroying everything. And I know I'm ranting about this movie or ranting about the one movie and then drooling about the other one, but I'm just thinking about the first movie, and it's just so good.
And it was
It's a
how long ago?
feel-good- Okay, the original one came out 2013.
So people, like big fans of this, have been waiting a long time for us because it seems like a very sequel-worthy movie.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I would have been fine if it was just one movie,
Yeah.
because it felt good.
But that one actually makes like it's not
Obviously-
many movies you're not like, oh, that needs a sequel. I'm like that, oh, that looks like it needs a sequel.
Obviously, it's like a very simple plot, kind of dumb sometimes, but it's fun. And
When does it come out?
this one comes out March 23rd.
Oh yeah, you did open up with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll
I will
see it.
I might go see it. I probably will go see it, but
You should, just so that you can get closure.
I need to get closure. Actually, the more I think about it.
If it's bad, hopefully it'll be the last one.
Hopefully it'll kill it.
Sure, let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
I mean, like that wasn't
Oh,
as bright as I originally thought.
It says Pacific Rim Uprising is the springboard for a cinematic universe.
No!
Because everybody needs a cinematic universe.
Stop it!
Oh,
Why?
wow.
Just
With who?
Del Moro
With
the
what?
Leave Del Toro's baby alone, okay?
Good grief.
The
I think.
movie's so good.
Wow. All right. Well, before we get too annoyed with that fact, because that's a whole other conversation.
We're gonna move on to something everybody loves.
Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I keep
It's okay.
ranting in every episode.
Silicon. So, I want to talk about, and this may seem different than what we normally talk about, but really it's not. I'm going to talk about Vine as a company, specifically their supposed Vine 2 that's coming out. So
I'm happy that they're coming out with a second one because I want to do Vine.
yeah,
Can I do Vine?
We can have our own Geek Kind Vine.
that'd be awesome.
The Geek Kind
I'd
Vine.
love to do that.
The Geek Vine.
The Geek Vine.
Aha!
Turning up the Geek Vine.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too cheesy. But okay.
I wanna be a cowboy, baby.
So, okay, so hold on. Little refresher for those who may not know what Vine is. Vine,
shame on you.
Yeah, really like 60-second brief history. Vine started back in 2013, I believe. I think right after it was finished, it was acquired by Twitter. Everyone knows what Twitter is. But Vine was a video sharing platform that was made around the time as Instagram was starting to gain traction, and it was before Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
So the only really popular video distribution social-wise was YouTube. Facebook hadn't started video yet. So really, like, YouTube was just like the only place that was social for videos, really. Vine came along and started the concept of, you know how like Twitter you can only have a certain amount of characters? Well, Vine's like, well, what if you could only have a certain amount of length in video? So
It was like 7-second videos, right?
6-second videos.
6-second videos, yeah.
So they limit you to 6-second videos, which seems super short, but it turns out 6 seconds is good enough for a lot of
Comedy.
a lot of comedy, a lot of highlights, a lot of like quick like news bits, and just like lots of things. But it ended up going way towards comedy, into quick comedy sketches that were ingenious because you had 6 seconds to land a joke. And you know, there's lots of
And
clever
they're
ways to do it. You just had to be like set up, joke, payoff. Like,
Some of the
it's-
funniest ones are just like random things that happen in life too.
Yeah,
They're not even meant to be
relatable things.
jokes. They're just like,
Yeah.
how the heck did this happen?
So, Vine started off decently. After it was officially launched out of beta, Twitter bought it, which made a lot of sense. And it became pretty popular in 2014, and 2015 was its prime. With once 2015 came along is when it started having problems.
Do you need a Twitter account to do?
No, you can use your Twitter account to do it, but
you can't even
maybe.
access it now anymore, though. Can you?
You can't access your Vine accounts. Oh, let me finish this.
Okay,
history.
go ahead.
So, 2015, it was having problems because Vine was officially one of the biggest social platforms on the web. Snapchat was becoming a thing. Instagram announced, and now that Instagram was becoming way more popular, Instagram's also owned by Facebook, so now Facebook is going, you know, it's always been heading butts with Twitter, but now Facebook acquired Instagram, and Instagram's like, hey, look, we can have videos, and they're going to be 15 seconds long. And everybody's like, ooh, is that going to be the big thing? We could have twice as much video. Does that make it better, or does that ruin the magic?
Yeah.
But what really was having problems is that Vine was failing now that it's gone past its infancy stage. It had tons of users. It had official celebrities within its social platform. It was failing to make money. And the two ways to make money for this kind of platform, at least the mainstream ways, is that one, you charge for the app, which you don't do for social platforms. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The only social thing that you charge for is dating related things. And even that, there's always a free access portion.
Yeah.
The other way is advertising. But the thing for advertising, like on Facebook, you have the ads on the sides, or you have every so many posts on there. They're annoying, but they're not too annoying. You know, it doesn't ruin the experience.
Yeah.
Now the only thing I'll argue is that with Facebook's video ads get really obnoxious sometimes. Like YouTube, you get a 15 to 30 second ad for like a 10-minute, like basically regardless of the length of your video. The only time you get more than one ad in a video is that if it's like an hour long. You very rarely see 2 ads in a video, and they're never more than 15, 30 seconds long because you can always skip it if it's longer than that. Facebook, I made a Facebook post about it because I was so angry. Watched 3 15-second ads in a like 2 and 30 second, like 2 minute and 30 second video. Like, it was like, I was just trying to get like, it was like an informational video, and I just wanted to know what was going on with this thing, and it kept interrupting it. I'm like,
Wow.
it was so obnoxious. Like, are you kidding me right now? So that was annoying. But Vine, because they're only 6 seconds and it's just videos, it's only a mobile thing. You can, like, just like Instagram, you can access it, quote unquote, on the computer, but you can't post anything on the computer, and it's not made for web, it's made for mobile. So you have this one single stream of just video content that you scroll down that automatically plays as you scroll down. Since they're only 6 seconds, it's impossible to have an ad on there because you're only watching it for 6 seconds. You literally take 1 second to show an ad, and you've got, like, I don't know, like 20% of the video is now an ad. Like, that's insane. That's only 1 second.
Yeah.
The other thing that you could think of doing is that every, like, say, you know, like 10 vines, you scroll down, oh, there's a sponsored or advertisement vine that's 6 seconds long. But the thing about that is that even if you only do it after every 10 seconds, that's an ad for every minute that you're on Vine. That's obnoxious. That's just as bad as Facebook. So literally, they're kind of trapped in where there's no good way to advertise it, and that's the main way to make money off this platform. And as sad as it is, they have to make money or it can't exist, and that's what happened.
So what are they thinking about doing with Vine 2?
We don't know, and that's what we're trying to speculate, because it got so bad in 2016 or 2015, I can't remember. The top creators of Vines banded together because Twitter was so neglecting of trying to make Vine successful. They were just letting it doing its own thing and basically letting it fail, even though it was so popular. Like literally one of the top 3 social networks, which is not easy to do. Google could only dream of doing that. Google Plus. But they banded together to try to buy Vine for themselves, like, so it's owned by creators and they can figure out a way to make it work, because Vine was just not doing anything, or Twitter rather wasn't doing anything about it. Yeah. And they ignored them. They never got back to them, and then they announced that Vine was shutting down in 2016, and it ended. And we thought that was it. However, usually when social networks dies, you got like Friendster, you got MySpace, all these other old dinosaurs that you've probably forgotten about. Died off because they lacked relevancy. Vine, believe it or not today, is still relevant. We're going on 2 years now without Vine, and now YouTube is filled with Vine compilations from content that hasn't been added to in 2 years.
I know, and you watch them every day probably, or at least I do.
It is... It is...
Probably watch some Vines.
I'm not kidding. This is not some sort of niche thing. It is a very popular thing now to watch Vine compilations on YouTube. And so this is bizarre for many reasons. It's bizarre because we're watching 2+ year old content. There's no new content added into it, but people are obsessing over it. Yeah. And I mean obsessing over it because, you know, memes are popular and stuff like that. Vines are on the same stage of memes at this point because they're talked about that much. And these...
They're like video memes.
Yeah.
Like it's...
And it's amazing to me because these compilation trends have been going on like 6 months now. It's really taken a hold.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that people haven't got bored or sick of them because there's a finite amount of Vines. And people are still consuming it and still trying to find new pieces of gold in this universe that doesn't exist anymore. By the way, you can still access Vine.com in their archive, but you can't access your account anymore or anything related to that. And you can make Vines, quote unquote, with their Vine camera, but you can't post it onto Vine. You have to post it on somewhere else. So at that point, what's the point? So yeah.
What's the point?
But Vine is Vine is more popular now after its existence than it ever was, which is insane to think about. And the stars from Vine, if you're wondering, they went to YouTube. Many of them now own very popular YouTube channels.
Oh, this is so cute. No, I'm sorry, like the way they have the website set up right now.
What is it?
It's like you're on the home screen of Vine.co.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's aware. It's like, dear Vine community, we have an important announcement regarding a bug we fixed in the Vine archive. And then it's just like, it has all these years. It was 13, 14, 15, and you click on one, and it's like...
Here's the highlights from those years.
It's Vine, year 4. Like...
But I don't know if... Like, is this magic unattainable now? Like, is this... So, like, for instance, it's like The Office, right? People love The Office, and they quote so many things about it.
Parks and Rec.
I don't want to see The Office get
Exactly.
come back.
It's almost like that where The Office is almost... Like, Office was, of course, very popular, but it's almost more popular now than it ever was because you just have more people following it and more people... Like, it's a beloved thing. Kind of like older shows like Friends and that 70s show. But you can't just make more of it expecting to have that again, you know, like that kind of comedy and jokes. It's kind of like, it's hard to recapture. Could Vine also have that same problem with trying to like start where they left off. Like
I like to think of it as like you have a delicious meal. And I know I keep going back to food, but like you have a delicious meal, and you put it in the fridge, and you're like, oh, that was absolutely amazing. And then you eat, then you bring out a lot of the leftovers. It's not as good.
But that's not the right analogy for this.
Okay,
What?
Right, because leftovers are still amazing.
What if it's there's this really good meal and you eat it and now it's gone, and then the chef who made it for you says, I have a new meal for you, and I've added something new to it, and I want to see if you still like it, and they give it to you. That's what Vine 2 would be.
okay.
I don't think so. I think no. I think it's the chef giving you something that's delicious, and you're like, oh man, I absolutely love this, and then going to another place where they give you the exact same thing, and it's not as good.
Another thing is that if Vine just suddenly came back to existence, it naturally wouldn't be the same because our tastes in content has changed. So like, the Vines that would appear on this new Vine, if it existed today, would be different than the Vines we left off with when it ceased to
Yeah.
exist.
Your appetite
And
alters
also-
the more like the older you get.
There's something about the compilation aspect, because you can just watch 10 minutes of like it only takes you 6 seconds a piece to get something gratifying.
Yeah.
So like
And
is that, and if you were to go on Vine now, it'd be like you scroll down, you keep watching videos. Only this is really satisfying.
It is.
I'll tell you what. So that's why I think
Because-
you could keep doing this.
Exactly, and because those, see, you have to click to play them,
Yeah.
but on the Vine app, they would all automatically play. So it's because you know what's great? If there's a bad Vine, you only wasted 6 seconds of your time. It's no
Exactly.
big deal.
That's-
If you liked it, it would automatically replay and you could enjoy it like that. So it was super satisfying.
That's why I think this could come back and still be popular, because it's so satisfying to scroll through videos that every 6 seconds you're getting something.
Yeah.
Like it's so, and this is what our entertainment culture is like now.
Yeah,
Like
it makes
I
a lot of
honestly don't
sense.
Snappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, jeez, what was I going to say? I really liked Vine because YouTube, sorry, weirdly
Why did you
touched
touch
your
my knee?
YouTube
No,
is
stop, Wesley.
because the YouTube is the way it's set up now, they prefer longer videos. So like 10-minute videos is what's it. But I don't always have time to watch a 10-minute YouTube video. Sometimes I want to waste like 3 to 5 minutes. That's where Vine would come in.
Yep.
You just wanted to, because it's different, because with YouTube, not only the videos are longer, but it seems weird just to go on YouTube to watch one video. Usually you go on YouTube to watch, I'd say 3 to 5 videos. You usually are taking about a half an hour to your hour every time. You're basically using YouTube to watch the same amount as an episode of a show. Is usually what I go into YouTube like. With Vine, it's basically a step up from Instagram or Facebook, where you want somewhere in the middle of there, but you also want that same instant gratification.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? YouTube, you're expecting to be there longer. You're expecting to not find something you really want right away and to almost kind of find that. But Vine was that, I want something now, I want it quick. I don't even care if I'm disappointed immediately. I know that there might be something right around that'll be appealing to
That
me.
doesn't really seem like a healthy mindset.
It's not, but that's the way social media is, you know?
Oh,
That
dear.
instant gratification, yeah.
I'm trying to find my Vine account.
Also,
I made a Vine once
Goodness.
Yeah.
a while ago.
How bad was it?
It was bad.
I made some bad ones too.
Were
I'm
you
not
ever
gonna lie.
funny?
I thought it was funny.
Also, interestingly enough, about Instagram being 15-second videos, that Vine community didn't transfer onto Instagram, partly because Instagram also expanded their videos to 1 minute long. They're now more like a Facebook feed. I like Instagram a lot because it's just pictures and video. So
Yeah.
there's no text posts, there's nothing like that. And when they incorporated stories, I was like, it's kind of like walking into the Snapchat territory. I didn't know if I liked that, but now I do like it because people are using it properly, which is you do all the daily crap that you don't want to be spammed with in the stories that's not in
Yeah.
your normal feed, and you do all the important stuff in your normal feed. I like Instagram a lot. It's my preferred social platform right now because Facebook
Same.
is filled with cluttered. I understand the ads are a thing. Instagram has ads too. Like
Yeah.
every dozen posts you see just a simple thing like
The only
that.
reason why Facebook is still my preferred is because of the groups. And I'm involved with a lot of groups, so that's, like, if I'm on Facebook, I'm usually interacting with friends that are in a group, and I only know them because of the group, and they're, like, real friends. Like, so, yeah, but I can see the appeal of Instagram, if that weren't the case
Yeah.
for me. Absolutely.
But basically, it's interesting because Vine usually when you see something beloved like that die out, you usually expect to see just an instant like rebranding. Like I think we've seen this with video games. Like we saw it with it's not as good of an example, but with Mega Man. Like Mega Man doesn't. What's up with that? Like there was a Kickstarter for a Mega Man. It didn't end up being that good, but that's how bad people wanted it. People were willing to pay for another one to exist. You know,
and that's something like it. Yeah.
Yeah, but in this case, people had to change. They went to YouTube, they made different types of content, and they did that because that's what they had to do to survive, to earn money as this kind of entertainment or entertainer career type.
Yeah.
That's kind of
yeah, because it spawned a lot of people that you're just like, you don't know where they came from.
did.
Oh, they came from Vine? Really?
Yeah.
Like,
So
And it spawned a lot of celebrities, right?
yeah.
Okay.
yeah, internet celebrities. Yeah, or as some people are calling it, what do you call it?
Internet.
Influencers, which is interesting because the real reason why it's influencers because they're not celebrities where they're not like with tons of money and like they're almost quite it's influencers like right below celebrities where they have the power to influence people because they're well known, but they're not like that status of everybody knows them and they are like stupid rich.
I'm gonna go with entertainers. I'm gonna steal from Red Link.
Brett Link is one of my favorite YouTubers.
Yes, we love
But
them.
again, it's different content from those same people on a different platform. So really, truly, Vine just hasn't existed in any capacity since then. And it's so weird that we haven't seen something try to recapture that since then.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's because when Vine died, people were almost a little bit tired of it because they had kind of a fad phase. But then this past year kind of resurged with the Vine compilations on YouTube.
I'm certainly appreciating it more, and I don't know where it started. I just started watching Vines more like in the last month.
I was on Vine January of 2014, so a few months after it started, which was pretty cool. I don't know about you when you were starting on there.
The year of, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd heard about it, and I was like, I want to go check that out, and I tried to make one.
And then you came after the fact, so we have different like perspectives here, which
I
is
think
cool.
that's even do Vine.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But people obviously really love Vines. It's more beloved now than ever before that it doesn't exist. And yeah, I don't know what they can do to make, and I'm sure that's why they haven't said anything more, because they're trying to figure out how they can make profit off of a company doing 6-second only videos or something of that capacity. The only thing I can think of is sponsored content where they pay people or where they have, or there's some way of like, the thing is that anything that I can think of outside of those advertising things is taken away from the experience. For instance, like how Facebook, if you're a page, you have to pay to sponsor things to make sure it gets out to all your people.
So take a look at this feed. What if they put ads right here in this bar?
So if they have text ads instead of...
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Right in between each video like that.
Yeah, so rather than have video ads as well, just have like a little blurb.
Yeah, like little like ad banners right here in between each video. So you're getting a lot of ads, but they're not disrupting anything. They're just filling up a space that's already blank. And you don't have to like interact with them or anything. But they're there. And you see them enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible. I think they probably have a good idea on how to incorporate it now that it's been so long.
I would hope
we'll
so,
see.
because they announced it a few months ago that this was something that was happening.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we really want to see this come back, and everyone's getting really excited for it.
I love Vines. Whenever I'm like bored, I want to do something, I watch Vine compilations.
Yeah, it's so easy. Again, I just love that fact of you can almost do no wrong, because if you didn't like it, it was only 6 seconds.
Exactly.
If you watch a bad YouTube video, that's really disappointing because you wasted like at least 5 minutes of your time. It's like, well, that was a disappointment, or that was clickbait.
There's usually going to be something in a Vine compilation that makes you happy.
Yeah, because like you can't clickbait a Vine because it's like, oh, you rickrolled me.
You know exactly what it is.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo.
Or you rickrolled me for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you got me.
moving on.
Yeah, exactly. There's no satisfaction in that. And YouTube does that all the time with the clickbait stuff, you know?
Oh, remember when rickrolling was a thing? It's not really a thing anymore, but
I'm
like,
so glad it's not. I hated that. They do that for trailers. Like movie trailers, they'd be like, oh, this new trailer's coming out. I'm like, oh, sweet. Click on it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. No!
you would get hit
I
with those.
hated it. It was awful.
It's in a way, John Cena, that meme, kind of took place of...
But that's not as bad.
Yeah.
His name is John Cena. Yeah.
Because John Cena, come on.
Another one of my favorite vines is the John Cena with the nose flutes.
You know what's interesting is that I was just thinking that most Vines involve pictures and or comics kind of things. Vine is literally just the meme video format.
Yeah.
Because Memes are really quick, they're rapid paced, they're easy to get through, and it's all about references and that kind of things. Vines do a similar thing because you don't really have memes on YouTube. YouTube references memes. They don't really make memes for the most part. Yes, there is memes that exist on YouTube, but then again, they're all usually smaller things. For example, shooting stars. That was a very, very popular video-related meme, but the concept was really short and simple.
Are you familiar with iFunny?
Yes? Yes.
That's basically like just all memes. Is there ads on that?
Oh yeah, but that's easy because
Okay.
it's picture-based. Just like Instagram. Instagram doesn't have a problem.
Yeah, because they do ads the same way Facebook does.
Yeah. Because with pictures, you can go through a lot more without seeing ads. Because it's the whole, when you're acquiring attention from videos, ads work differently. You know, when you have to now work by percentages. You know, because a picture is less invasive than an ad in a video.
You could still do pictures on here. The ads wouldn't have to be video. Those every you know, the video blocks every so often it would just be a picture block of an ad.
So it wouldn't be as disruptive.
Yeah, it's doable. Definitely doable. I think we'd all love to see Vine come back.
Yes.
I want to watch more Vines now.
We're gonna go watch some Vines.
Yeah.
You should too. It's been nice.
It's been good stuff.
Thanks for having us in your ear.
Absolutely. I don't know why I can't find it. Like, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. I can't think of it. But that's okay. Yeah.
Next time.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. I really do want to watch Vines.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Stay kind, geeks.